You're watching this on December 26th, and I already know what you told yourself yesterday about your New Year's resolutions. This year is going to be different. You're looking for goal-setting tips and personal development strategies on how to keep resolutions.
January 1st, you'll start fresh. New year, new you. You'll finally master habit formation and motivation psychology to join that gym, write that book, quit that job, leave that relationship, and become the person you know you're capable of being.
But here's what's going to actually happen, and the real reason why New Year's resolutions fail. You'll make it 2 weeks, maybe 3 if you're really committed. Then life will get in the way, motivation will fade, and by February, you'll be right back where you started.
Except now you'll have one more failure to add to the pile, one more broken promise to yourself, one more year of wondering why you can't just change. And I'm not saying this to be cruel. I'm saying it because the data is absolutely brutal.
A study from the University of Scranton found that only 8% of people actually achieve their New Year's resolutions. That means 92 out of every 100 people who swear they're going to change their lives in January will fail.
But here's what nobody talks about. The failure isn't about willpower or commitment or wanting it badly enough. The failure is baked into the psychology of waiting for January 1st in the first place. Because people who wait for the new year to change their lives aren't actually trying to change. They're performing change, and your brain knows the difference. Let me explain what's really happening in your head when you tell yourself you'll start fresh in January.
Psychologists call it the fresh start effect, and it sounds positive, but it's actually a trap. Your brain loves temporal landmarks, these arbitrary points in time that feel like new beginnings. New year, new month, birthdays, Mondays. They give you this psychological sense that you can leave the past behind and start over with a clean slate. Sounds good, right? Except here's the problem. When you wait for these landmarks, you're essentially giving yourself permission to keep failing until they arrive.
It's December 15th and you want to get healthy? You could start today, but your brain says, why bother? The year is almost over anyway. Might as well enjoy the holidays and start fresh in January. Research from the Journal of Consumer Psychology found that this exact thinking pattern leads to what they call the what the hell effect. Once you've decided to wait until January, your brain interprets the time between now and then as a free pass.
You've already committed to future change, so present behavior doesn't count. Studies show people actually engage in more unhealthy behaviors in December than any other month because they've mentally written off the year. Think about that.
The decision to change in the future actively makes your present worse. You're not preparing for transformation. You're binging before the diet, one last hurrah before the discipline, a farewell tour of your old self.
Except you're strengthening the exact neural pathways and habits you claim you want to break. Here's an even darker truth. Waiting for January 1st is a form of procrastination, but it's procrastination that feels virtuous. You get to feel good about your intention to change without actually doing the uncomfortable work of changing. Your brain releases dopamine when you imagine your future transformed self. You get a hit of pleasure from planning and fantasizing about who you'll become. And that pleasure hit tricks your brain into thinking you've already made progress. Neuroscientists have actually measured this. When you visualize achieving a goal, your brain shows similar activation patterns to actually achieving that goal. It's getting a preview of the reward without doing any of the work. So you spend December imagining your January self, who wakes up at 5 a.m. and goes to the gym and eats salads and writes every day. And your brain feels satisfied. It thinks, great, we've handled this.
This is why 73% of people abandon their New Year's resolutions within the first month. The fantasy was more appealing than the reality.
The version of you that exists in your December imagination is motivated and energized and ready to transform.
But the version of you that wakes up on January 2nd is the same person with the same brain chemistry and the same habits and the same life circumstances that made change difficult in the first place. The calendar didn't give you a new brain. It just gave you a date.
But here's where it gets psychologically fascinating.
People who wait for New Year's aren't just procrastinating. They're avoiding something much more uncomfortable, the reality that they could change right now if they actually wanted to.
Because if you can start January 1st, you can start December 26th, or October 13th, or any random Tuesday in March. The date is irrelevant. What you're really waiting for isn't the new year. It's for change to feel easy, for motivation to arrive like a lightning bolt, for circumstances to align perfectly. And that's never going to happen. Research from the European Journal of Social Psychology found that it takes an average of 66 days to form a new habit, not 21 days like the myth claims.
66 days of consistent repetition before a behavior becomes automatic. Now think about what this means for New Year's resolutions. If you start January 1st, you won't have an automatic habit until early March.
Which means you're spending 2 months relying entirely on willpower and motivation, the two most unreliable forces in human psychology. Meanwhile, if you started today, December 26th, you'd have an established habit by the end of February. You'd be 2 months ahead.
You'd have survived the hard part, the part where it requires conscious effort and discipline. By the time everyone else is starting their resolutions, you'd already be seeing results. But you won't do that. And I know why. Because starting on December 26th doesn't have a story. There's no narrative weight to it. You can't announce on social media that it's a new year, new you. You can't participate in the collective ritual of transformation that happens every January. Starting on some random day feels insignificant. It feels like it doesn't count. And that's the real psychology here. People who wait for New Year's aren't trying to change for themselves. They're trying to change for an audience. They need the external validation, the social performance, the announcement, the witnesses. January 1st gives them permission to make change a public event instead of a private commitment. Studies show that people who publicly announce their goals are actually less likely to achieve them, a phenomenon psychologists call social reality. When you tell people about your goals, your brain gets a premature sense of completeness. You've been acknowledged for your intention. You've received positive feedback and encouragement, and your brain mistakes that social reward for actual progress. The announcement becomes a substitute for the action. This is why the gym is packed in January and empty by March.
Everyone made declarations. Everyone had witnesses. Everyone got likes and comments and encouragement on their New Year's posts. And then when the hard work started and nobody was watching anymore, and there was no external validation, the motivation evaporated.
Here's another brutal statistic. 60% of gym memberships go completely unused. People pay for an entire year and never go, but they don't cancel because canceling means admitting failure. So they keep paying, month after month, for the version of themselves they aspire to be, but aren't willing to become. The membership becomes a monument to their own self-deception. And it's not just the gym. It's the online courses people buy and never complete, the books people purchase and never read, the therapy appointments they schedule and cancel, the business ideas they research but never launch, the relationships they say they'll leave but never do. People who wait for New Year's to change their lives are master collectors of unrealized intentions. But here's what I want you to understand, and this is important. The psychology of waiting for January 1st reveals something profound about how you see yourself.
When you say you'll change in the new year, what you're really saying is that current you isn't capable of change, that current you is broken or weak or stuck, that you need to become someone else, future you, before transformation is possible. This is fundamentally wrong.
Current you is the only version that can change anything. Future you doesn't exist. Future you will never exist. There's only ever now you, making decisions in this present moment. And every time you defer change to a future date, you reinforce the belief that present you is inadequate. Research in self-compassion shows that people who are kind to themselves about their current limitations are far more likely to change than people who hate themselves into transformation. But waiting for New Year's is an act of self-rejection. It's saying, I'm not good enough right now, but future me will be better. That psychological split, that rejection of your present self, that's what keeps you stuck. So let's talk about what actually works.
Not what feels good to imagine, but what the data shows about people who successfully change their lives. They don't wait for perfect timing. They start broken. They start messy. They start on random Wednesdays when they're tired and unprepared and not sure if they can do it. They start anyway. They don't make sweeping declarations. They make tiny commitments. Not, I'm going to lose 50 pounds, but I'm going to walk for 10 minutes today. Not, I'm going to write a novel, but I'm going to write one paragraph.
Not, I'm going to completely transform my life, but I'm going to do one thing differently right now. They don't rely on motivation. They build systems. They understand that motivation is a feeling that comes and goes, but systems run regardless of how you feel.
They set up their environment to make good choices easy and bad choices hard. They remove friction from desired behaviors and add friction to undesired ones.
And most importantly, they don't wait for the new year because they understand something fundamental. The best time to change was yesterday. The second best time is right now, not January 1st. Now. Here's my challenge to you, and I'm completely serious about this.
Whatever you were planning to start on January 1st, do one version of it today. Not the full commitment, just one action. Wanted to start exercising? Do 10 push-ups right now. Wanted to eat healthier? Drink a glass of water. Wanted to write? Write one sentence.
Wanted to quit scrolling? Put your phone in another room for 1 hour. Prove to yourself that change doesn't require a special date. It requires a decision.
And you can make that decision right now, this moment, without anyone's permission or validation or the arbitrary turning of a calendar page. Because here's the truth that people who wait for New Year's don't want to hear. You're not going to change in January.
You're going to repeat the same cycle you've repeated for years, unless you break it right now. The question isn't whether January 1st will be different. It won't be. The question is whether you're ready to stop performing change and start living it. Your move.